I have done Weight Watchers. All right, I praise God that Weight Watchers doesn't have a limit on how many times you can join. Because I have joined Weight Watchers 9 times and lost 7 pounds in all. Come to find out, you have to follow a program. I know that, but I go because the meetings are funny, and it's like going to a comedy club. It really is. It's like AA, but it's for people who eat their emotions, and that's who I am. I eat my emotions. Like my husband would come home, and the kids would be fighting, and he'd say something like, "What have you done all day?" And I'd eat a hot dog, and I don't even know where it came from. Well, I had to keep from drinking whiskey. I didn't want to get hooked on whiskey with little children. So I joined Weight Watchers so many times, and this last time, Oprah bought it. And they had Oprah on TV, and she was twirling pasta on a fork and running through tall grass. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. No. So, no, turns out, no, for the 9th time. But what the deal is they give you a point value on food. So fruits and vegetables are free. You don't care, really. And like a piece of beef that's the size of a credit card. It's like 5 points or something like that. You don't want any of that. You're so hungry when you start that you could eat the wallpaper off the walls. You want a Snickers bar, but they're like 12 points. My sister goes on it every time I do, and she'll call me and she'll say, "It's noon and I've eaten all my points." Oh, y'all, I've done every kind of exercise in the world. And when I was y'all age, I was so gung-ho. And I wanted to go and do, and I wanted to be firm and tone. And then one day I just said, I don't care. But, and that's a good feeling too. But when I was y'all's age, I was big into CrossFit. Do y'all have CrossFit here? Ooh, I hope y'all don't end up in a boot. All right. It is bad mamma jamma. And it came to Knoxville, and these young boys in their early 20s opened it up, and they were darling. And they both had little fannies that looked like baseballs. And I wanted my fanny to look like a baseball. So I got my good friend Becky. Becky and I joined CrossFit together. For those of you who don't know, it's like military moves, push-ups, pull-ups, that kind of thing. They'd put a big tractor tire in the parking lot, and they'd set Becky in it, and I'd pull her across the parking lot while she held her purse. Well, these boys came to us one day, and they said, "Hey, we're going to have a contest, and whoever wins it gets 3 months of free training." And it's going to be for the women and for the men. It's going to last 10 weeks. We're going to take your before and after picture, and then the whole gym's going to vote on whose body has changed the most. And we were like, yes. So one day, we show up, didn't know it was picture day. I had on a horrible-looking sports bra that had lost all of its support, and I should have bizzed it the night before. It had a gray tint to it, and it really wasn't gray. It was white. And if I'd have known it was going to be picture day, I'd have gotten a spray tan. But anyway, they said, take your top off to me and Becky, and they go, just leave on your sports bra and your spandex, and we're going to take your picture. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. And I didn't want those little boys to not ever want to marry and have children. So I said, Becky, me and you, we're going in the back. I said, I'm taking Becky's picture and she'll take mine. So we went in the back room, and Becky went. And I said, what are you doing, Becky? Don't you want to win this thing? I want to win it. So I took my spandex and shoved it under my stomach and went. Thank you. Oh, it was a sight. These kids put it on the internet. because that's what kids do. So if y'all Google it and you see this poor woman with her head cut off with these 2 feed sacks, oh, it was a sight. But what they said, they go, okay, and when I saw that, I thought, oh my gosh, you are what you eat, and I look like a big bun, is what I look like. But they said, you're going to eat paleo, and it's what God put upon the earth to sustain us. So if you can run it down and kill it, dig it out of the ground, pick it off of a bush, you can eat it. So that's lean meats, fruits, vegetables, nuts, berries, and seeds. That's no grain, no dairy. When's the last time any of y'all ever got off of white flour? Anybody? Oh, and you still can yell. Okay. Good for you. Oh my gosh, I had the shakes. Becky and I both were shaking. We drank a bunch of coffee. Then we had to have our teeth whitened. Anyway, my husband said, you are so hateful. Will you please eat a piece of white bread? So my husband does work for that big mobile home company. But one of the perks there that they give us is they send us on these trips, unbelievable trips, all over the world. But sometimes it'll be like Alaska, somewhere like that. Sometimes it's been overseas. But say, for instance, Alaska, we sign up for excursions before we go. My husband signed us up to go on a float plane to see a glacier. And we walk up to this dock, and there's this little float plane floating in the water. And they line us up on this dock, and this little crusty man with a pack of Marlboro Reds comes up to me and says, what do you weigh? And I lied. And I watched 9 more people. He asked 9 more people, and I watched them all lie. And I thought, oh my Lord, we're gonna go down. Well, I was taking care of my little mom and daddy. I couldn't tour, so I would go and spend the night with my little mom and daddy, who are 79 and 81. I would go and stay with them, and they would have the thermostat on 82. And we watched Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and then we would go to bed at 6. I had that thing about words and bad language because my little mom and daddy never said ugly words, ever. And there was never alcohol in our house until my sister was going to marry a little later in life, and she was going to marry this hoop-de-doo man. And when I say hoop-de-doo, I mean country club. Some country club people like to drink. So we all, to get her married off, started drinking. And my little mama had never had alcohol, got out of my car. She had 2.5 glasses of wine and said, I can't feel my arms. Thank you. And he gives us all this snorkeling equipment, and I've got, all this on. He puts a big old floater thing on me with a strap and throws me into the ocean. And I feel something, and is that an eel? Is that an eel? And then my husband floats up to me. He's got on a big pair of goggles, big thing in his mouth, takes that thing out and looks at me and says, you want to do it? All right, so me and my high school boyfriend would get out in his 79 Monte Carlo that was as long as this stage. And we would make out, and then I would go home to my precious mama, Lucille, and say, Mama, I must have burned my neck on a curling iron. And she knew that was crazy, but anyway, if I said to my husband, Chuck, suck my neck. Suck my neck, Chuck. As hard as you can. Until you put a bruise on me. If I said that to him, I think he would have a heart attack. but he'd do it. He'd do it. I can't even think about going on one of these trips until I can get through Christmas. And I don't mean to sound like everything falls on me, but everything falls on me.
Thank you.